Nicole, if you want to introduce yourself up here.
Sure. I'm Nicole Dash, and I'm with Team DDA. I am the Director of Operations and Marketing, also a listing agent in production. Been with the team 9 years.
Look at this. We have TV there.
Oh, wow. That is so good.
Let's do that. Let's do that. We're going to do that at the end, or you want to do it at the beginning?
It's our cheat sheet here.
Yeah.
So. It's good.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, we learned from the old office. It's great to have this here, but then to have the TV up there while we're presenting during any meetings or seller seminars, so it's reflected basically on there.
That's so cool.
All right, everyone.
Yeah. So I asked Nicole to be up here because she probably paid more attention than I did. And I did have to step out like for a couple of meetings during the Tom Ferry Summit. Who's ever been to a Tom Ferry Summit event? Okay. So several of you have been to it. This was the first year in Anaheim, and what I thought just in the general impression is that he used to have it in Dallas, and it used to be packed, like 7,000 people at the last couple of summits. Lower turnout this year. So I don't know if that was because it was earlier in August during people's vacation time, or it was all the way on the other side of the country, which, you know, if you've done that flight to the West Coast, it's a heavier lift. I also think that the market is challenging in some areas. We're seeing little bits and pieces and pockets, but I think across the country there was lower attendance because some people are struggling in the business. In fact, David Childress, who owns Keeping Current Matters, he even mentioned in one of the summaries that we read is that 70% of the country is starting to feel like a buyer's market. Statistically, I don't know if that's actual factual, but it's starting to feel like it. So we've been so used to and spoiled to a seller's market that I think that change has interrupted some of the market across the country. So that was just a general feelings of Tom Ferry Summit.
Convention Center's being redone in Dallas, being completely redone. When it
Yeah.
gets done, we'll go back.
That convention center in Dallas is being totally rebuilt. It was old. So I think redoing that, hopefully he'll go back there, because that's his home base. He lives in Dallas most of the time. Yeah.
He
Yes.
said he can't wait.
Yeah.
Good.
So jumping into the first one, which is become the agent that AI names. I'll let Nicole kind of speak on that as well.
Yeah, and so I put together, 5 key takeaways, and I would like to say that I invented these 5 key takeaways, but there was a big emphasis on AI, as you can imagine, at this conference. A lot about becoming the authority. AI is not going to replace you, but you need to use AI or you will be replaced, right? So that was sort of the emphasis. And so actually, who was it? What was her name? Someone who attended in one of the Tom Ferry groups, she put together a whole...
Christy Jenks, who
Christy
used to be, I
Jenks.
think,
Okay,
your
yes.
coach, right?
So-
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So she used AI to put together, she had a recording, audio recording, and she put it into Claude, and she made this entire presentation, which was so interactive and amazing. And so what I did was I took her top 5 takeaways from that, and I put that into Claude and created these 5 slides. So I'm citing the fact that I used it, but I wanted to integrate, kind of the AI usage for here as an example as well. So taking her notes, so she used AI to make her notes, I used her notes to create these slides on AI, so kind of cool. So the first takeaway was become the agent AI names. 91% of agents are visible in AI searches, and they were using Dragon. What is the name of the?
Go Fly Dragon.
Go Fly Dragon. So Go Fly Dragon is where you can actually go in, put your name in, and see where you rank in AI searches. And it'll tell you whether or not you're invisible or not, whether you come up in a certain percentage of searches. And so it was really, really interesting. It's a cool site to check out. They also were talking a lot about blogging strategies. I think they talked about that last year, but really honing in on making sure that you were writing your summary and your tags and your headlines all to answer the questions people are asking in their AI searches, right? That's the main thing, is what are you naturally doing when you're looking for an agent? Like who's the top agent near me who's great for selling a house in Burke, right? So using that language within the first paragraph of that blog post. So that was really helpful because we've been doing a blog strategy here for the last year and has seen a really great impact on our both search engine optimization and also our AI search impact as well, but just honing in on how to make it better for all of that. So that was really helpful for me.
Is anybody doing any blogging right now to rank up their hire? You are. How often are you doing posting?
I do it all in advance.
Yeah.
So I just schedule a week in advance.
Yeah.
And I let it. So.
Yeah.
Who's writing it?
Claude.
Good.
Yeah.
I did a whole investigative strategy about what top agents were sharing and what kind of blog strategies they had, and then
Yeah.
put together a project in Claude that does it. So.
Are we seeing an impact of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Not yet. Probably it's only been a couple months.
Okay.
I have a brand new website, so I'm now using that website to do it. So
Good.
How many times a week are you posting a blog?
every day.
Every day, which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
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 We have somebody that's in charge of it,
Yeah.
who's also does some other jobs, but their job is to every day post.
Yeah, and then we're cross-posting. That was a big thing. So you put it in your website. Make sure you have backlinks within your website as well, right? So if you reference something in your website, like home value, link within your website, and then we're making sure we're putting it on our Google Business profile, on our LinkedIn profile, sharing it to social media, making sure that that one piece of content is being used everywhere.
Can you let them in?
It's unlocked.
Is our blog posts, like website blog posts, greater than like social media videos to show up for AI?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about basically in Google it was all keywords, right? The keywords were what they were searching on. Now AI, the way they search is they're looking for that third-party validation, right? You can be your own third-party validation. So when you write your blog post, you're saying Debbie Dole Associates, Team DDA is the #1 ranked agent in blah, 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 right? So you're actually writing out what you want them to find to you as. And you say, we have, 1,000 5-star reviews. That's what they're gonna find. They're not gonna find the fact that you have 5,000 reviews. You have to say you have 5,000 reviews, or however many reviews. I'm just throwing numbers out there.
But I would say there's some crossover, so you don't want to do one and not the other. You want to do both at the same time. And many times if you're doing this, like what Leanne was saying, is that you get it from Claude, and then when you're doing that, you can say, well, can you put that into an Instagram post? And they'll chop it up for you and just put some few captions and even tell you what to post, the picture to go with it. So it can, break it all down for you so that you don't have to think of everything yourself. Yeah. So while you're at it, just have it do that second part as well.
And if this is over your head, which is over my head, you look at the name of the speakers, Jason Pantana. He runs a program called AI Marketing Academy. It's actually pretty affordable. I think it's $199 a month that you can sign up for. And he has an add-on for a little bit additional money where they actually create all of the blog posts and all those types of things that you can post. That's specific to you, to your area. And so they basically dummy it down and walk you through it. If you don't have time for that, hire somebody that's in charge of it. We do not have time for it, so we have this younger employee on the team who does some photography and those types of things. And then he and the marketing team track all of this stuff, and then they're posting those things. And it has made a difference in our searchability where we're popping up. You can also go further. I was talking to Shannon, who's at EXP. Shannon, that Reddit for some reason comes up in a lot of the AI searches.
Yeah, I love that.
So she has a bunch of dummy accounts, and she comments on those things. So she has like 20 Reddit different accounts, and then they're always in there, and then her searchability has come up in AI as well too. That's a whole different thing, but it is a way of just becoming more visible in AI.
Is it an actual person that's writing those Reddit?
She
Someone on
is.
her team?
She
Yeah,
is.
it's like-
She's
it's
actually
not-
doing
So
it.
it's not like a bot or
No.
using AI.
But
She does.
she might have her, she has a lot of virtual assistants that she works with, and then she will have them doing stuff for her. But it's basically like if you create a Finsta, like a fake Instagram account, it's almost like that. And so it's like a user 1234 person or something, and then those comments on it, because it can't be just you all the time. It'd be
Right.
great to be you, but then it's other people also contributing to whatever you're saying and supporting what you're saying. So.
So is she just asking a question, like, what's the market like in Northern Virginia? And then
She can be the answering, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
But then
but
other
different
people-
people are
and other people are
answering.
answering.
And then once in a while dropping her name in there. So it's
She's the
a,
best agent.
yeah, in a nice, in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
There's so much agent bashing on Reddit. It's really
Yeah.
Yeah,
sad.
it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
I did hear though that at some point, because there are so many people trying to dilute it, that it may go away. So for as long as it can work, try it, but don't build it all around that and all of a sudden in like a month they say no more Reddit or whatever. But just know that that is under check. And I think last year even people were saying, oh, don't post AI stuff because Instagram's not going to post it. Well, that's not true. We know now that you see a whole bunch of AI stuff out there. So.
Even if you just want to get a taste of Jason Pantana, just follow him on socials, and he gives out a ton of stuff free, and he drops great information that a lot of the agents in the Tom Ferry coaching organization are following. So
They do a lot of free webinars too.
He
And then
does.
they give you a QR code to come in and get into his program.
Yeah.
That's to start out, so.
Yeah.
yeah,
and podcasts.
yeah. And for me, like, I need somebody else doing it. It's like I use AI to do emails. That's about to the extent. So we have other people who do a lot more with it. So.
A big part of this whole presentation was about becoming the authority. And like I said, you know, you want to own your brand, own your voice, own your identity, because nobody can be you. And that's the distinguishing part within the business. And AI isn't going to take over what we can do. We just have to utilize AI to continue to win in the market. But the main keynote speaker was talking all about your brand voice, and it was very interesting. I mean, I think for a team it gets a little bit harder, but for an individual agent, really owning who you are and making sure that everything that you post, everything you produce, everything on your website, your marketing pieces, all is cohesive and sounds like you. And as a team, we can do it as well, but it's not necessarily one archetype, right?
Yeah. Matt Farnham was one of the speakers that was up there. Many of you know Matt Farnham because he's at EXP as well, so he had a really great captive audience. Matt Farnham is a devout Christian, and he spoke very openly about his faith and how it aligns with his business. And he said that he was scared to do it before, but now he just leans into it, and that's part of who his business has become. So whatever your thing is, that you're just going to lean into that and build your business off of that as well. And then some of you know Jenny Turner, that was one of the speakers up there as well. She's in the Portland area, and she is like Miss Tom Ferry in terms of the ecosystem, and really captures the vision and values of, and she got awarded up there because she's so helpful for anyone that's in there. I'm on a every other week mastermind call with her, and just blown away in terms of everything that she shares. I would love for her to join EXP because she would be amazing. She has her independent brokerage, but we're still kind of in those discussions and talks as well. And then anybody follow Shannon Gillette? Yeah, so she's a rock star. If you follow her on Instagram, she's in the Arizona area, and she has a great following, and she has a great story of how she just struggled. Like when she first jumped into doing the business and just like starting from the beginning, like many of us who started out, and it was a struggle at the beginning. So if you get a chance to kind of see her story, it's a great story of how she built her business and created basically a tribe who follows her. Ooh.
Yeah.
You wanna
So,
do this?
yeah, there was a big emphasis on video, YouTube, and specifically home tours, which
Yeah.
was really interesting. They were saying that property tours, home tour videos are the #1 searched video format. And to be transparent, we've been working on, for the last several months, launching a YouTube channel. Did lots of research, met with a lot of people, we're getting the scripts together, and our idea was to do kind of one of those really highly edited talking head videos with the B-roll and really focused on the area, right? That was our plan and our strategy. We had a little hiccup, and that's why it had not launched prior to Tom Ferry. Now that we attended Tom Ferry, we're like, maybe we need to go in a little bit of a different direction and be a little less highly scripted and highly edited, and the main thing is just to be consistent and do those home tour videos. And some of them are as simple as you alone with your cell phone, you know, you say, hi, I'm at 123 Main Street, let me give you a tour, and flipping it around and walking through and spending literally 20 minutes talking about, like, not short form, we're talking long form videos, like more than 15 minutes, like, here's the house, here's the community, and dropping hints. And you know, so we are on our way to trying to do that. But that's what they kept emphasizing, was that these long form home tour videos are working. And
Nicole, when they say long form home tours, you are at a specific property?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is the most searched? I'm like, so people are going into AI and searching 123 Main Street in Burke and
For 20 minutes.
And 20-minute videos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you do a home tour for 20 minutes, right? But they incorporate tidbits about the community. It's
Their
very
favorite restaurant near there,
Yeah.
the schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're still edited videos.
Very little.
Very
Very
lightly.
little.
Very little.
Yeah.
So I
Very
think
little.
I
They're
think-
like
So we
film
don't
it.
have to hire an $1,000 company
No,
and
that's
memorize
right.
the script and all
Exactly.
that.
No.
Good.
Yeah,
No.
you're basically, so this is what you can do. There is, you know, editing tools out there that can take out all the little silent moments in there, so you kind of chop it up. That's the only editing. But you're not really, don't need to go in there and make it look so beautiful and overly edit it, because the reality is reality TV is so popular and people want to see the real, and it feels more real than the other stuff that's over polished. So that's why it does so well. People want to see the behind the scenes. They want to know, you know, you have the insight, and they feel like now you're taking them behind the curtain. Versus the other one is so commercialized looking, and that's the difference. And that's why it's working so well. So it's easier. You can go in there. I talked to Rene Rodriguez, and he said, just ramble. And I'm like, what? He goes, just ramble, just talk, which I'm great at. Right? I'm like, okay. But then it gets boring, and I'm like, I'm going on a tangent. But then you can upload that video and tell AI to take out parts that are redundant and take out the silent moments, and it will chop it up for you. Now, the beautiful thing about it being long is it's kind of like a blog. It's got all this stuff in there that can be searched and found, and then you can chop it up again and do short ones for Instagram Reels. So again, you do the long form, and you can take so much from it. So don't feel like it's a waste of time, and then you have to go back and do something else. You're using the same video in multiple different ways.
Yeah. And they
Have you done it?
Have I done it?
Yeah.
I have done, I'm not a big YouTuber, I have done it. And I actually am going back to my old stuff, because before I was rambling and I did some weird stuff on YouTube, and that's actually what's working, weirdly now. And so I just posted a,
What weird stuff did you do?
I know, not weird stuff, like I'd sit there and be like, I mean the way I was doing it, I'd be sitting there and be like, hello, and just saying stuff like, you're not supposed to introduce yourself because it's over. Like by then I'm like, hi, happy Monday everyone. I'm sitting here, la, 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 whatever. So you don't do that, but you go right into it. Like you won't believe what I found today, this whole thing. And then they're like, what did you find today? And then you just go. So then from that, I just chopped off the beginning part where I used to introduce myself and go on and on about it. You can reach me at 703-395, like chop all that out. And you just get to the parts of whatever. But I mean, it's not like weird stuff I was putting in, but it's about a house. Or I would tell stories, and people want to hear about the stories. And what you can do with AI is when you're telling that story, the AI part can pop in the visuals of whatever you want. That's the easier stuff that you can put in, and it'll do it for you. But if you don't even do that, and you're just talking, that's good enough. Really, they're just,
I'm kind of shocked because I feel like I've tried
longer, more boring videos 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Go back to it.
Go
It's
back.
back. It's
And
back.
they're like, they were dead.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Dead
back.
in live, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
No.
It makes me think that the buyers are more serious if they're gonna sit there and actually watch that
Yes.
whole thing.
Yes.
They're actually like thinking about moving to
Yes.
the area or wanting to schedule a
Right.
tour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that sexy, like
Yeah.
you'll watch it on any
Yeah.
house,
Yeah.
you know?
any kind of, who is watching this, the serious buyers?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
well, so,
So any kind of.
I mean, you're probably only getting serious buyers.
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
minutes in, you can't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Or you have insomnia and you're watching everything.
yeah. So if you think of,
Well, not every listing is that
Yes.
sexy,
Yeah.
you know?
if you think of it like this, like when people are using Instagram, understand the end user of what they're doing. They're just kind of like doom scrolling and just for entertainment, they're going through whatever. On YouTube, they're going there for education. I don't know about you, that's what I do. When I want to learn, I'm like, how do I do this? I go to YouTube. I don't go to Instagram. It's like, how do you do this? It's step by step by step. So that's the more serious people. And if they're watching all that, they feel like they already know you. So those are the ones where it's more like you're going to get the come list me or get something like that versus Instagram, they might start liking you. It works too, because I get business off of Instagram, but YouTube is almost guaranteed that they already feel like they've been in your living room sitting there chatting with you the whole time. You're already their bud. So it's hard, but that's the direction that I think a lot of people are going. And the good news is when you do that, you can repurpose a lot of that for everything else.
You mentioned repurposing and chopping up that short form video. I know Opus was the tool that everyone was using. Is that still the tool that you're using to chop up videos? Or is there an AI, tool that you're using to get more value from the long form?
Yeah,
So-
Opus
yes.
is a good tool for doing that, but I think.
I was gonna say, well, I'm partnering up with Rene Rodriguez. He has a whole new one, and I'm in the pilot mode of it, and it will do all that for you. Yeah.
It's adding like B-roll and everything.
Yeah.
So you go back to your old ones, you take out, welcome to 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
And then you start with a hook.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you can tell
gotta
it.
see this is amazing, there's something in this house that's so different.
Right.
And then they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to embed your kind of like keywords, right? Like what you're in that hook, in that first entry. Like think about it like, oh, Burke single family home, right? You want to make sure that the things people are looking
keywords.
for, those keywords are kind of spoken in your intro. That's the important thing. And the cool thing about YouTube, unlike Instagram or one of the, it's not the hashtags and the keywords. It's what you're speaking is enough, right?
Yep.
And then you're gonna, have the transcript, and you can break it up, in the video where people can jump ahead to like the living room, the kitchen, all the little sections, right? One of the panelists was saying that they do this every day, and they were getting comments, and one person was like, "You skipped over the pantry. You didn't go into the pantry." And then they said, so the next video, they were like, "This is for you, Martha." And they opened it up, and they were like, "Look at this pantry. You could do this." They spent like 5 minutes on just the pantry. So
And they said don't edit out your mistakes, like fumbling with the
Yeah.
lockbox.
Yes.
Or like you go by the bathroom and we all are like, you don't want to be seen in the mirror. Like you're like, surprise yourself and go, ooh, that's me. Like do those goofy
They like
things.
that.
That's what's going to get the engagement and people see the real you versus the polished version on Instagram. So I was shocked because every agent can do this. Every agent, whether you're a team member or you're a solo agent, you can just go there and do a long form video, go before the open house. If you're just checking on staging or what the contractor's doing, just do a walkthrough. Even the before video of before you do the renovations, just do a full thing, and this is what we're planning to do. Carla does that all the time in terms of when she's renovating our flips in there. She'll go in there and see what this is gonna look like. But if you do the long form, and then it just sits there for years and it's just free advertisement for you.
So those 3 speakers, if we go to their social, we'll probably see
Yeah.
a bunch of examples
Yeah.
of what they've done.
Yeah.
Everybody that we put on the board today, you guys should definitely follow. They have really good stuff, and they're acting on what they're teaching too, so you can see examples and things in real life. I will give you another hack too on this. Like if you're recording yourself, for me, my pet peeve is, I talk really fast. So when I went through some of my old videos, I purposely tried to talk slow, and it sounds really weird. Because for anybody that knows me, it's like, she doesn't talk like that. But the hack is you can actually speed up the talk. You know how like when you listen to thing, you can do it on like 1.5 speed, or you can do whatever speed. So if you're talking really fast, you want to slow it down, you can edit it that way. Or the videos that were weird where I was talking super slow, trying to be purposely slow, sounded very strange. And so I just sped those up. So you can do all these little
Did they
edits.
talk about doing like going to other agents' listings?
Thank you, that's what I
That was
was
my
saying.
question. They did talk about that?
Yeah, you're
No.
not supposed to.
You have
No.
to. You're not-
You just have to get
Because I know
permission.
there's a lot of changes
You have to
now.
get
Yes,
permission.
so the
Yeah,
changes
definitely get
mostly is in
permission.
Virginia, mostly in Virginia. Some other areas isn't as strict, but Virginia has these new rules right now that's super strict about it, so you definitely want to get permission. So for all of you guys that are doing things, the best way to do it is add it into your listing agreement that the seller will allow that, and that way it kind of is a blanket one where you don't have to get permission each time.
You can also put their contact information at the very bottom.
Yeah.
So that they,
Yeah.
they're, you know, that and then you can put your name and have your name right under it, so that
Yeah.
they don't know, people aren't
Yeah.
looking.
I see 2 hands up, so you want to
Ivana,
start,
yeah.
Ivana, and then
Yeah.
So, how do you deal with following up? Let's say you have posts on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and then people make comments, and then maybe you get business out of it. I feel
You
like
can
I
talk
need
about
a
that,
whole
yeah.
day, every day to
It's
check
hard.
if
It's hard.
somebody's
Yeah.
responded or somebody's interested.
Yeah.
And the question B, part B, is what do you do with negative comments?
Yeah.
You filter, you put it.
So I'll just quickly. So we, we've had our Instagram and our Facebook for a while, and just sort of like keeping it steady. We hadn't really been growing it, and we had a TikTok which we hadn't posted on, and then one of our Jefferson, who's been doing photography and he does the blogging. He's like, well, when I'm at a house, I'm just going to film, a little short and put it on TikTok with music. 50, 60,000 views, 25, 30 comments. Some of them, a lot of the comments are like, hey, that's way overpriced. Who's gonna buy 900 for a Rambler? Those kind of things.
Yeah.
But then,
Like, what's
right, and then
Yeah.
other ones are like, hey, I wanna see that, or can you send me more information? And so then just replying with the commenter, and we're all figuring it out, but,
it actually helps your
Yeah.
algorithm.
Yeah.
So when they do that, it actually helps you. So it really bothered me in the beginning, but now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look. If you guys ever read the book, The Gap in the Gain, I'm like, that's the gain. See, it's helping the algorithm or whatever. But basically, it does make you feel bad. But if they're being sarcastic, you almost be sarcastic back in a nice way, like you laugh at it, and you're just like, LOL. Like sometimes someone will say something, and I'll just do LOL. There's nothing else I can say.
Well,
You know what I
another
mean?
thing
So.
great that you get to post when pending.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. Or I would say something like,
I love that.
no,
Like,
but
you can bitch
yeah,
about it all you
exactly.
want, but guess what? It's
Yeah,
sold.
yeah, and sometimes you'll say like, shocked too, and it ended up going over a list or whatever it is, exactly. So you want to say something like, you don't want to be like super snarky or anything like that, but you do want to either address it or I don't really like posts like that, like I don't heart it, but I will sometimes respond to it, and sometimes there's nothing really to say, but they say that it's better not to delete it. So if you delete, don't delete the comment.
Yeah.
People will want to delete it, then they'll feel like, oh, you're curating too much of something fake. They want to see it all. Yeah, so
let them respond to each other, because people do.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you don't live in the area, right? Like, thank you. Thank you for replying to that person for us.
And then he starts to send me more information, please, I'm interested.
Yes, then we reply right
You
away,
set
yeah.
time in a day, well, you're a team, so you'll have people, like, I'm thinking for solo agents, like, how do we block a time? in a day?
there's actually, if you are doing something and you're doing it specifically for a property, it's called ManyChat. So Google that, and that could be a whole session on that. If you put keywords ManyChat,
Many?
MANY chat, and it's automated. So if they say something, and you can set it up where if they say a comment, you automatically send them something. So you would say something like, and it's an auto responder. Sometimes it feels weird because it has nothing to say, but that's one way to do it. So you know how like when you're on Instagram and it says comment book,
Right.
and I'll send you whatever, and it automatically sends you stuff. So you can set it up that way through ManyChat, and that will help respond. At least you could say something like, I'll get right back to you, or something if you feel,
Buy some time.
yeah, buys you time, really. Or it actually takes care of it if it's something that's easy to answer. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Aaron Chua, who's one of the speakers in there, he is like the master of teaching how to successfully build a YouTube business. And he coaches a bunch of agents in the Tom Ferry organization. Many of them are solo agents, and they have so many leads coming in through YouTube, they've had to build a team to support it. A crazy amount of leads. In fact, he tested it because he has a really robust YouTube channel. He just wanted to see if he could build another one. So he shared that, and he's the nomad. He and his wife like travel around the world now. He's a coach for Tom Ferry. So he started a new one called Living in Cabo while he was there for a few weeks. Okay, and he launched it with $500, and in 6 weeks he hit 12,000 subscribers, got a $1.8 million listing that he referred, and made $118,000 in referral fees from all the business that he referred. He's not even licensed to Mexico.
Yeah.
He just sent it to the agent down there, and that's how he made that kind of money. And he has multiple, like he has a travel channel for he and his wife, and it's like when you look at it, it is not fancy. But he just goes there and does it, and he says to wake up your algorithms, you have to post basically right at the beginning, like 10 to 15 videos right away. Like we were trying to do this slick polish, like I was reading a script, getting ready, and then we went to this and we're like, we gotta redo our whole strategy on it to not make it seem so slick.
Yeah.
Beauty of it is it can be really simple and anybody can do it. And there are people in the organization like Gia Silva, who's been in the business a long time out in California on the West Coast. She used to do a bunch of expireds and withdrawals, and she went to YouTube and she's crushing it on YouTube.
Yeah, I think, did you have a question too? You
I kind of just wanted to ask, like, go back to the doing the videos and stuff, like if you were on a team, like you're more of a buyer's agent, and I love to go and do the tours and do the videos and stuff for open houses and things, but if you wanted to do like a longer one with like neighborhood content stuff, is it like okay to call another agent, like, and ask if it's okay to do that
Yeah,
video
absolutely.
at their house or whatever? Like I want to.
Yeah, I think you definitely want to get permission, right?
Yeah.
And they would have to give you permission, but some of the easier ways to get started, if you're nervous calling them, or if you call them and they say no, the builders are really good about it, like the new construction. So that,
They love it.
they love it. And even communities, like you said, you can do that in the communities, and you're just walking around and you're doing your thing. Just have your phone propped up, even in your car or when you're in a restaurant, you just do it. Because if you go around and you look really commercialized, they'll come and tell you to stop. At Mosaic District, they'll stop you. You're not allowed to do that. Reston Town Center won't let you. So, but if you're doing it on your phone, they can't really stop you. But if you're with the guy filming, because I did
Yeah.
it. I did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the way to do it if you cannot get into houses. And then when you get into houses, like at open houses, that's another way to do it. But they don't always want you to post it. So then you just ask and say, you know, what's in it for them? It's really the exposure for them that really helps. But brokers, when they want you.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, video.
Yeah, you're not gonna send
Yeah.
it.
So who's gonna do a home tour in the next week?
Come on.
Yeah.
Who's got a sexy listing that I can do?
Yeah. And don't go get any fancy camera equipment. Just do it on your phone.
Yeah.
So you think not even bringing somebody to hold the phone, like you just.
No,
do it.
you just do it.
Yeah.
I think it's like, you know, like for the
So,
older
okay,
people,
we're gonna
but
go
like they
through
like the
these
faces.
boring ones on our YouTube channel that gets very few followers.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's boring, but, okay. You think that that's gonna pull in people? How are we gonna get that out there?
Well, I think it's about consistency,
Yeah.
right? So
Can't just
that's
do
what he was
one.
saying. You
Yeah.
can't just do one. You've
Yeah.
got to do.
You do the
a
other ones
bunch.
too. We're not telling you to replace the other ones that you're
Yeah.
doing with Chris. You want to do both. So then, like, let's say, because if you only do that, let's say you get a listing and they're like, that's the kind of video you're going to put on my house. Sorry, I want to go with this other person that makes it look, because sellers want it to look all fancy and all that. But the consumer, the buyer themselves want to know the real scoop. What's the real scoop?
Yeah.
So you see, it's two different audiences. So you got to do both.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't, if you eliminate it,
Both
yeah.
on YouTube, fancy one
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
real one.
And if you don't have a bunch of listings, it's a good excuse to call your past client and just say, hey, I want to see what you've done. And then go over and visit with them and then ask them, hey, can I just shoot a video? I'm so excited about what you've done. And just walk through their house and do a video.
Yeah.
And you've created content just of that neighborhood. You're not selling it, but you're just being the authority of that neighborhood in there. So if you have a client that you need to talk to, that's a great way of doing it. If you want to follow somebody, her name is Rachel Smith. She is in Bear, California. She walks through and she does a walkthrough every day on a house. Every day. It's nothing fancy. The camera's shaking all over the place. She's already sold almost 60 houses this year. Most of it from YouTube.
Yeah.
60
Yes.
houses this year.
Yeah, she's all over the place. But
She's
people love her though. They love her.
some of her listings, some
Yeah.
random ones, she gets permission to go in there and do it. Now she got such a reputation, people want her
Yeah,
to
people
come
want it.
and check out. Because in her market, the houses don't sell in the first weekend.
Yeah.
So it gets attention for that agent.
She's Rachel Smith Real Estate on Instagram, but it's RACHAEL.
Thank you.
And it is nothing fancy. And she's the one who did the fumbling with the lockbox and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
People
I
made
love
fun
that.
of her, and she's like, yeah, this is what happens as a realtor. She just played it off as a lot of fun.
So I'm also gonna mention, I think Debbie Baxter said something about, when we had that meeting about all the new rules, that we're not supposed to market for other agents.
Right.
So,
That's the permission part that we need to get.
You need
but
permission.
I think that we need to stick with EXP.
Yes, I think so.
It can't be
Yeah.
Pearson Smith.
Yeah.
We can't market
Because
for
if it's
Pearson.
outside of EXP, what I understand is that the seller has to sign off on it, not just the agent as well.
Okay.
But in EXP, they've already signed their agreement with EXP for marketing, so then you just can get the agent.
So it's one of the check marks on the listing agreement where it
Yeah.
talks about
The marketing.
It's
Right.
included.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
say, it just says marketing, it doesn't say EXP marketing, which is.
Well, it's the broker,
The broker.
it all encompasses everybody,
Yeah.
all of the experience.
I think we're gonna skip this
We
one
can
because we
skip
want to
this
get
one,
to
yeah.
the Coronado thing
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
here.
And basically systemizing, so I will say one thing very quickly about this. You know, we have a portal on our website that basically was just like a collection of Google Forms, links to Google Forms for our agents to access. And so just using AI to really create these operating systems that are really interactive and engaging. And so right away, Kwang, who works with us, by the time I got back, he was already because he was watching the streaming of it. He was already drafting something. So
Oh, you sunset the old portal. I was gonna show the old
no,
portal
well, you just
compared to
oh
the new.
yeah, the portal's gone, done.
Yeah, like while we were there, because he was watching it here virtually, so he created this whole portal with coming soon list, ratified buyer sides, and this is all done with AI.
Yeah, it was all done
Yeah.
with AI, and then links, and then a whole team directory, interactive. You can search on a name and then click it and call you, and just like really cool stuff. So the main thing was just using AI to be able to create these automated systems, and there's definitely other things we can do that I would love to do to automate. But you know, buying back your time was the key takeaway on that.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so
Now
we're
we're
gonna,
moving to
yeah.
Coronado.
on that.
Yeah, so we started off doing the Tom Ferry, just the summary from that, but we thought, you know what, we just came back from Coronado too, what can we kind of push in here too that you guys can get? So there were amazing speakers there, a lot of them, but we picked 3 that we thought was most, I think, relevant to the majority of people, right? So we went through and picked some of their stuff and shared their slides, and we will be able to get you these slides too so that you can go into some more detail. But first speaker was Jen Lay. She's down in Florida, and she talks about a business that she's built. She basically is like a solo agent with a person, operations person that helps her with everything. And really how she builds her business is to be remembered. And how do you build yourself to be remembered? It's creating situations and events with people where they feel that you really become their friend, right? So that they can talk about you. So it's creating opportunities for stories that they can go share and tell other people when you're not there. So what does that mean? Just making them feel super special because you listened. So some of the things that she said was like, when you go into a listing, what do the majority of agents focus on when they go into listings? They focus on the house. They want to know the bedrooms, they want to know all these things. But she goes in and it's about finding out about the person, what's their situation. And that's really all she focuses on. Because everything else you can find online and then you can confirm some things while you're there. But she's really listening and understanding what that person's all about, looking at the pictures on the walls and stuff like that. And then when she leaves there, she does something that makes them remember her and makes her feel like makes them feel special that she remembered. So for instance, let's say somebody had a pet. She might send a gift for the pet. If they have a little kid, she might send something for them, right? So just things like that to make people feel special and not just, I'm here just to see your house and I'm just here to sell your house. So she talks more first about them than about the property.
Well, and Vic, one of the biggest things that resonated with me was she was like, I bring the kids during the listing presentation right in, and I'm like, all right, so you're gonna keep your bedroom clean for me. Come
Yes.
show it to me. Like, she really made the kids
Yes,
feel
there
special,
is.
and she
Mhm.
put the dog, like the pet's information and the kids' birthdays right into their database.
Yes.
I was like, I love.
And the kids sign a listing
the
agreement.
They
kids sign
sign
a
it
One
too.
page listing
I thought that
agreement.
was
Yeah.
brilliant.
We'll send you guys a
Keep my
copy
room
of that.
clean.
Yeah.
We used to do it and then we
used
stopped
to do
doing it for some
yeah.
reason.
It's so cute.
Yeah, and the kids get a
Yeah.
gift if they actually follow what they were supposed to
We
do
used to do
at
that
closing.
Berenstain Bears book.
Yeah.
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 Carry with us.
Yeah.
But look at her business, like how much she's built just
Yeah.
from the referrals.
So
And
you
she's
see all these
basically
little
a
things.
solo agent.
Yeah, she's basically a solo agent, and you see all these little gifts that she does for pets and stuff. But like, it's not expensive. You just buy a bunch of stuff and have it in stock. And when you see something cool, you just pull it out from the pet pile, or something for a kid, or something for somebody else, something special. And you know, I'm not as consistent. She has a whole system for this. So we'll share with you her little gift playbook, so you have that. I was doing it, but it's random. So how do you systematize this? I'll give you an example of one where
There
if
you
I
go.
did this on every single one, but I had an appointment recently where I was getting ready to go on our family trip. And of course, I get the call, and it's like, yeah, I'm thinking about selling, and you know you're supposed to go there right away. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we're leaving tomorrow. So I asked the lady if I could come, and she's like, oh no, not right now, or whatever. And so I kind of really tried to stall as long as I could, and I said, that's okay, I can send someone from my team, but I want to go there to meet her, right? I said, but I'm leaving for my family trip, but I have a team member that's going to come, and you and I can get on Zoom or whatever. And she's like, well, the reason why I didn't want you to come is because it's actually my birthday and stuff. And I said, oh my gosh, I'll just stop by 5 minutes, I'll drop you off a cake. And she's like, you don't have to do that. And we started joking. She's like, you know what, why don't you come on over? And I went out and learned this from Andrea, got her nothing but cake, it's so easy, you can get right on the spot, it looks special, brought it to her. And she was like, I can't believe you actually brought that, or whatever. And we just talked about that and her dogs and cat the whole time, went through the property, and we got the listing. It was that easy, like just, and she didn't interview, she said, I'm gonna interview other people, she didn't interview anyone else. So just simple like that, but I can say I don't have it as systematized as Jen, so she has an amazing playbook, we wanna do that. So this quote, she said, nobody talks about your negotiation skills at dinner, but they will talk about something special or something cool that you did, that made them feel great. So, all right, do you wanna share this one? This was
Yeah.
really sweet. I'm
Oh,
embarrassing.
yeah, I remember this one.
This-
So remember, she's in like Lakeland, Florida, which is outside of Orlando, so lower price point in there. So when she talks about, when you see the money part of it, it is different. It's like half of what we normally do in this area. But this was an appointment that she went to, and you see those little, is it Solo cups, red Solo cups on the floor?
Yeah.
That's where their pet passed away.
Oh.
And so like this whole thing, like I'm tearing up just
Yeah.
thinking about it too, but like she remembered this, and then she actually was thinking like, how can I make this memorable for them? And she was like thinking, okay, I'm gonna get like a friends person to get a paw print like off the floor and everything. And then what did she actually create for them? What was the gift?
Yeah, it was
She dropped
it was
off.
actually the paw print was done forever. So, but here's
Yeah.
the story behind it. Was when she
Yeah.
came in her realtor mind, she was like, the house can't be shown like that.
Yeah.
Photos are going to be done. It can't have that down there.
No.
Someone's going to kick it and they're going to get mad, like by accident kick
Yeah.
or step over it or whatever. So she's like, I'm going to memorialize this for them and then have that forever. And then now we're going to have to remove it and clean it up and do all that. And they were okay with it because of the way she presented it and was very thoughtful in doing that for them. But when she told the story, we're not doing it justice, but basically it was very sad and they did not want to move all that, and it was kind of like, this is how it's gonna have to be shown. And she was like, it
When they were
can't be.
selling it, they were gonna take the floor with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they weren't thinking that at that point
Yeah.
too, so,
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
all about the emotion.
Yeah. So she said, don't focus on just the events, like, hey, I'm gonna host all these events and do all these things, which is great. Like, we all love events and we do that, but what are the moments that you're trying to create and the stories that you can share at those events? And it could be smaller events that you do. It doesn't have to be all the big ones either. It doesn't have to be super expensive.
Yeah, and I think the events that, and if she's gonna invest in volunteering to do something, it's something she's passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever she said, I do something, it's something, I'm not just doing it to get business, I have to feel it and I wanna do it and be ingrained in the community. Because we all get asked to sponsor this, to be a part of that, and sometimes we'll just do it or write them a check. She doesn't do that. She just focuses on the things that she's super passionate about. She was and is a single mom, so like she's very, very focused on some of those things that help with these communities as well. And then she actually does like a Christmas event at her house with Santa and everything. So it's at her house, it's very intimate, and she gets she creates friendships with them.
Yeah. She also has an event that she does with the schools. And so it's a great story about how she goes in and she speaks at the school, but then really helps the kids and gets the kids involved and even the teachers. And so she's gotten clients that way, where there was one kid, it's like all these sad stories, but this one guy actually in high school, he was like, how do I get my parents to do this? And he really encouraged them to become homeowners and got her connected with him, and they became homeowners because of the son seeing her presentation.
Yeah, we'll get you these slides, guys. There's a lot of it in here, so don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is I think the son that pushed the parents and said, you got to use Jen.
Yeah.
She goes and talks
we have to
them,
own,
yes.
like we have to own a house because
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So because of time, we're gonna take. Oh, she
Yeah,
has
so
the
scan
QR
that-
code.
scan
Go
that
ahead,
QR
scan that
code.
QR code.
Yep.
It's so good.
Yeah, her stuff is so good. And really, it's awesome because it's so systematized, and that's really how you scale.
And she's thinking needs a team, because during that whole event, she's there like on the phone, deal doctoring and that kind of stuff. I'm like, Jen, you need like a
She needs a
really good production
Yeah,
partner.
she needs a production partner first.
And she's got one kind of ramping up, but she
Yeah.
just needs someone back. She's selling 100 houses basically on her own with 2 assistants.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. All right, so we're
Everybody
going to
get
move on
that?
to the next person who, Lauren McLean. She's another one where she actually scaled up really fast, because when you join Fast Forward Movement, you feel like, oh my gosh, this is what I have to do. And so she grew her team to over 20 agents really fast. But what she learned was, it's not really about that. It's really what she says, right sizing for success. So that was her presentation. It's not the same for everyone. Like if you look at Team DDA and you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go out, like you might burn yourself out. It's not that easy. Like this was a long time in the making, and they've really built something amazing, and it works for them. Doesn't mean that it works for you. You have to be true to who you are. And I think for her whole story in a nutshell was that she was trying to copy everybody else, and it's the thing where everybody says you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and she was like, okay, I'm doing that, but she's all over the place and not really understanding what was important to her. So she says, bigger is not always better, and whatever that's happening in your life. So as she was building this up, things started happening in her life, some negative things like happening. Her grandmother passed away, and then every time something like that happened, she would just be like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? And it was some situation where evaluating herself, realizing that she was building this because everybody else was telling her she should be doing this, but she herself was not happy. So she said, if you throw your business in a pile and everybody says, throw it in the pile, would you grab your own business back, or would you take someone else's? And that was kind of a good picture analogy for me. I was like, whoa, yeah, because everybody else told you to do this, and she's trying to do it, and it's looking good on the outside, but inside it wasn't really good. It wasn't feeling good. So she goes over, how many agents she had, 22. Now she's down to 2 agents. She has the production partner, and she's running super profitable versus the other way she wasn't, right? And so, again, I know a lot of you here are solo agents. Some people have talked about building a team. Well, you and your assistant is a team, right? So you can still call yourself a team, but how do you go from there and how do you scale? The best way to scale is through systems, and really that's what she talks about. She had a huge office, which cost a lot of overhead. She now goes to a smaller one. She shared some numbers on, what kind of profits. Yeah.
This was with a big team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So really the 5 steps to right sizing is, you want to evaluate and eliminate what you don't need. So you look at where you are right now. What are the things? A lot of us sign up for things like, Jay shared that thing with Jason Pantano. I'm guilty of it. I signed up for it last year and barely even used it because I got in there. I'm like, this is overwhelming. And I really didn't even use it, and I paid for it. So look at what you have going on right now and you're spending money on that you're not really able to, focus on. And so you want to do that. Do you want to go back to that real quick? Because there's the steps to it.
Yeah.
Right. So what can you automate? You want to automate as much as you can, and whatever you can't do or you feel like right now it might cost you more, but you just don't have the bandwidth, outsource it first. And when you get your time back and you're like, oh, I can take some of this in-house, or you have more budget to hire somebody else, then do that. But don't try to do everything yourself or you're going to get overwhelmed. And then from there, elevate, right? And then multiply. I don't remember what elevate exactly was, but then you want to multiply from there. But basically, that's how you scale. So
She just skinnied it down and got down to basically 2 agents. And she just turned 36 years this past week.
Yeah.
She owns 16 investment properties in the Bay Area. And you know how expensive the Bay Area is. So talk about like getting it right and then just getting lean into doing the business versus building a team for ego's sake, because she realized that it wasn't really her. And I
Yeah.
think some of you think about building a team, and you need to be really careful in terms of what are you asking for, what do you really want.
Yeah, so she talks about like the right size test. So this is the question you guys should be, you know, asking yourself before you add or keep anything, right? So number one is, does it make money? Is it income generating? Number two, does it improve the client experience? And number three, does it buy back time for you? If it doesn't, then don't do it. That's basically it. That's how she started eliminating things. Find out and be truthful of what areas and pillars where you are crushing it, and go all in on those versus trying, like you're hearing all these ideas from everyone. You got to pick a few and go all in on that. And it's the thing that you're best at. So when we talk about going back to the basics or going back to what we did before, it's a lot of us changed because someone was telling us, you got to do this, you got to do this. And we're like jumping all around. Know where you're crushing it and where you were getting your business. And if that is for most of us, sphere, go all in on your sphere. It goes hand in hand with what, you know, we talk about client events and talking about what Jen Lay talked about is really creating those moments and experiences for people. So spend money there and time there. What else do you want to go? I'm going to skip through a bunch of stuff.
No.
Okay, the CEO filter. So as a leader of your business, right? The main thing is you have to ask yourself, does it require you yourself? And this requires you letting go. It's really hard for a lot of us that are type A and controlling and all that. But if it doesn't require you, you really have to get good at delegating it and giving it to somebody else. Now with, you know, AI, there's no reason you can't. You can do it with a virtual assistant, but even now there's AI agentic that you can set up and doing it for you. It's, you know, you can automate it pretty easily. So that's her other thing. And then, yeah, if there's something that does not require you and it's not really bringing in money, you got to delete it. Don't hold on to it. Okay.
Because of time, I'm gonna skip to this one.
Yeah, we're already 12.
I think she is going to be speaking at EXPCon for anybody that's going, but we got a sneak peek at what she does. And the listing agents on my team have started watching some of her information, but all I would add is for you all is just to start following her.
Yeah.
Because she breaks it down in terms of, you know, those people that have charisma when they walk into a room and you're instantly attracted to them? Most of us don't have that naturally.
Yep.
But she says it can be taught. She didn't have it. And so it was amazing in terms of like certain cues and words and body language, even on Zoom calls, that she was able to share. So I'm gonna just jump to following her, and I hope that you will get on YouTube, watch her. She's done TED Talks. And she knows our business just from the selling standpoint.
It might be after.
Oh, you might have to, yeah. But, well, you can go to her name and just follow it on the different socials.
It's Vanessa. Yeah, hold on. It's
There's a Q-
Vanessa Van Edwards.
There's a QR
Van
code
Edwards.
that
Van,
Emily's
V-A-N
gonna put
Edwards.
up,
Yeah.
because I grabbed the screen there.
Yeah. But, I mean, really, I think the biggest thing is, and Patricia
Yeah.
knows all about this,
There's
right?
a QR
Patricia's here
code,
that
you can
teaches
grab
us
it.
about it. But it's really the 4 ways we send social signals is words, voice, ornaments, which is like the accessories and what you wear and how you present yourself, but also body language. So important. So grab that, and then she has a book, a few books, but a book I think just released or coming out. I think she's selling it right now, so it's coming out, not out yet. But there's some, you had your team do the test? Or
We haven't done the test yet. We just started diving into her information, and all of the agents think it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, some of you, yeah, it may not show up, but you probably have been
Name
following.
on it. Would you give us?
Yeah, Vanessa Van Edwards. It's on
Yeah.
the book.
Just do the QR code there.
Yeah. But I think,
Or just
I mean,
take
the
a
most
picture.
amazing thing about it, where we're saying that this is taught, is that she's a total introvert. She said she's an introvert and she was so scared to even be around people or talk to anyone. And for her to be who she is now and teaches about this, it's like scientific. It's not just like, because sometimes people are like, oh, you were just born with it. That's not true. So,
No,
Yep.
can be taught.
so we did that as fast as we could.
I know.